So welcome here, Renee. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yes. Glad to be here. Okay. Thanks, Candice. So I've been a contractor for pretty much 20 years, but oddly enough, I did start off as a teacher, a French teacher, and I didn't actually enjoy it at all. So I just quit and then struggled to be contractor, and it grew from there. And did renovations and always worked with others. And now it's at the point where it's more of a commercial painting business, and I have people that I've worked with for over 5 years. So with their help, it's grown to a very stable place, stable business. And since Kingston is fairly small, it works with simply a few phone calls and that relationship I have with people.
Right. Well, that's very cool. So if you were to give advice to somebody about, let's just say, very basic, how to find a reputable
Mhm.
contractor and where you would start that whole search, what would you say?
Well, there'd be three ways. Number one would be the suppliers. So if you're looking for a painter, you go to a paint store. If you're looking for an electrician, you go to a specialized electrical store. They'll have a list of contractors. But the easy one would be simply referrals. You simply
Hmm.
ask your friends or your family who they've used in the past and if they were happy with the person before and what your goal is.
Right. Or maybe how big of a job it is as well, right?
Exactly, exactly. If you're just
Yeah.
looking to fix just a plumbing issue, well, you just get the plumber, or you can always get a handy person who has experience with plumbing, and the
Hmm.
cost be a bit much lower. Timing
Right.
plays a factor as well. If it's spring, summertime, everyone's calling them. The prices do go up, but come December, January is a perfect time to do renovations, and you
Yeah.
get the best deals.
Yeah, I agree.
It's amazing. Everyone's based on the weather. Once it warms up,
Hmm.
everyone starts calling to get stuff done around the house. It seems like it's human nature. The moment spring comes around, they want to get things moving and get things done.
Yeah. Like so many things in life, you have to do the opposite of what the crowd is doing, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Yeah.
follow the crowd.
Yeah. So how? So now I've been thinking through my renovation, and I've hired a few contractors to help me with my job. How do I keep all the contractors on schedule? And is that a really onerous task? I guess just to keep on top of everybody. And
It can be. It can be. It's a full time job at times. I would suggest it's consistent communication before they arrive, when they arrive, and just progress along the way. It's consistent communication. That's the key, and having a plan,
right.
and having at least delay factors. So you don't necessarily tell them that okay, this has to be done by Friday. You say, well, listen, we want to get it done by Thursday. So there's always that extra day or so, depending
Yeah,
on the job, for simply delays because you will have delays.
I think that's a really good point because we just think, okay, well, the plumber's going to do their thing, and then the electrician's going to do their thing. But like you said, often they want to know what each other's doing, and so
Mhm.
that's where giving the regular updates makes a lot of sense.
And at the job site, have the plan on the board so everyone's on top. Because sometimes what happens is, especially for a large scale contractor, you'll be corresponding with the secretary or with
Mhm.
the owner. But those who do actually do the work won't know the big plan. So if you have it on the job site, a big plan right on the
Mhm.
board, a schedule, then
Mhm.
everyone knows.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Great. So do you tend to, when you're doing jobs, do you tend to keep the same tradespeople from job to job, or are you kind of consistently looking for, better trades, maybe a little bit more affordable or quicker or more loyal to you? What's your thought on that?
I tend to use the same people that I know. I like that relationship. It's a buildup of relationship over numerous years. But what happens often, people there's changes. They leave the city or so. So what I tend to do is I'll have an ad. I do run a painting company, so I'll have a small ad looking for painters consistently, and that way
Hmm.
when I do need somebody, I have them on the list.
Okay.
But if as an investor, it's always every time you meet a contractor, you get their information, and if you give them a bit of work, you test them out with the small stuff. not with the large stuff, because that could be prone to mistakes. But you test it out like any relationship. You want to go smoothly. You don't want to just jump into a marriage. You want to start couple small dates or so. So same with the
Yeah,
contractors. You try them out for a day, see how that works, and then another job, and then explain what you're doing as well. And if they know you have numerous properties, or you do flips, or you're into you've got big plans, let them know that way he'll think of you and he'll know what you're doing, and it's just a better relationship, and then they can help you out.
yeah, yeah. That's cool. So if we're thinking now about potential issues that could come up, and different warranty work can come up after after they've left. How can you, as the investor or the homeowner, help guarantee that these people are going to actually come back and do that service work after the job's done?
Well, there's always the holdback, the 10% holdback, and generally you can extend that for a month or so, maybe two, but after a while they're going to want the full payment of it. There are very few guarantees in life. I would simply, if you have over 5 properties as a buy and hold strategy, you're gonna need at least a handy person around to do the small things. If it's a reputable company and you've got a good relationship, they'll come back for the guarantee. But I wouldn't necessarily rely on that piece of paper and force the person to do it. If it's something small, call them. But if they're not back, then at least have a your handy person can do it as well.
Yeah. So do you tend to hire specialized trades every time you're doing a renovation project, or would you rather look at somebody who can kind of do it all and then you only have one call?
Yes, for the most part, I use specialized trade because they know how to do things well, and they do it more efficiently as well. They'll be more prepared. While a general contractor, they may hire things out, but they'll probably have one person doing the painting, but they won't be as the speed won't be there, the efficiency won't be there. But then
Hmm.
again, my background is in contracting, so I know many tradespeople, and being a general contractor, I didn't mind at all. It is time consuming. That's the thing to keep in mind, is that once you become a general contractor, other things stop, like finding other deals. I would suggest for people starting off, when I started off, I would do my own renovations, and then it was the people that I hired did the renovations, and then it's like a level where you understand. So when you come down to working with a general contractor, you understand their language, you understand
Hmm.
what's possible, what's not possible, and it works best in your favor.
So do you have like a slam dunk story of a project that just went amazingly well, or also
They're
went
all
really,
slam dunks. They're
or went
all
really bad?
although I got a few bad ones, but I'll stick to the. I like to be positive on it. The we did one last year, which was basically, it was about a month. We were able to fix the less than a month. Fix the kitchen. It was the foundation, a new roof, painted the whole place, furnished it, and rented it out in a matter of a month. It was just having the right people. It just went so smoothly. But it really comes down to, it was a buildup of 5 years of relationships with other people, and then once this project came around, we just jumped at it. Everyone knew each other. It went nice and smoothly.
Yeah. I think that's the secret to everything in life, is that so many times we look at somebody and we think, wow, like how could he really do that in a month? But we think of it as, overnight, your overnight success, right? And we're able to just
There's
pull
that.
that off. But we don't really consider the time behind, all these different stories that we hear, when we go to investor club meetings and things like that. And to remember that everybody started unsuccessful, right? They started just starting out, just trying and trial and error to be able to get where you are today.
It's exactly right. I like the analogy with Olympians. So you don't see the training, all that
Yeah,
training, all those hours of training. We just see the race. So the hard work is in the training.
yeah,
So you can do the race nice and smoothly and win.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And there's people that will help you as you go, right? There's always people
Always,
that will help you
always.
through that learning process. It's just finding and reaching out to people.
This business is not a business to do alone.
Yeah.
it's a basis on relationships and helping others and getting help to get things done.
Yeah. And on that note, if somebody's looking for some help or some advice, is there a way that they can contact you to,
Most
bounce
definitely,
questions
most
off you?
definitely. So my renovation business or painting business is called Alter A Property Services, but I also have a business of real estate investing, which is getbetterreturns.ca.
That's a great name.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. You're such a wealth of knowledge, and I'm so happy to be able to talk to you further about this.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, take care.